Hey, this is Gingy from the Quill Studios YouTube channel. This next late night gaming is going to be containing a lot of talk about suicide and depression. So if that's not your cup of tea, go ahead and log off this video and go watch one of our other wonderful videos. With that being said, I would also like to announce that if you or a loved one are dealing with depression, I highly urge you to seek help by calling 988 or getting into contact with someone that you can love and trust. With that being all squared away, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks for being a part of this ride with us. Alright, bye-bye.
Personally, I kind of... When I see other people doing it, I try avoiding those people. I've seen friends manipulate other friends, and the first thought that goes through my head is, have they done that to me? Like... And I kind of slowly separate myself from that person just because it's like you're mentally not good. Even if you're not doing it, it's like you just showed me that you're capable of doing it, and I'd rather not.
Once a manipulator shows her true colors, or his or her true colors, you really start taking an appreciation for the people that may have hurt you in the past, but in the end had a perfectly sound mind and wanted the best for you, even though you treated them like shit.
And
did I ever get into my last ex? I know I've talked to you privately.
You've talked to me privately about it, and I would just say I wouldn't mention too much here, because there was a lot that happened there that probably shouldn't be shared too much, but...
Well, I mean, I'll go over the clip notes if that's what you want, and I can basically tell this story half asleep anyway. But this is, for me at least, this is something that you should be on the lookout. So, to start this off, I just want to say that originally I lived pretty close to where Quill lives and Sammy and all them, but unforeseen circumstances had me go away and go try to live a new life somewhere else. So when I did, I don't know anybody here. I still, to this day, 2 years later, have 3 friends that I truly hang out with and can call friends. And I met this girl when I was working a dead-end job at a fast food restaurant, and she was actually the sister of one of my coworkers. And when she walked in, I got the whole entire, love at first sight, blinded by it.
You had the holy music and, the lens flare and
everything. The holy music,
Sorry, I'm just thinking Wayne's World now.
No, it's like the Guns N' Roses, and I don't wanna miss a day. That whole entire song.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that whole entire oh my god, she is stunning. She's amazing. She's beautiful. She's everything that I want. I don't know why, but I gotta talk to her. So I did, and I was kind of being a punk about it though, but we ended up talking it out and saying hey, yeah, I wanted to hang out with you. I wanted to get to know you better. So the first night we hung out, it was very calm, very nice, I would say. We got to know each other a little more. She was actually in the military, which if you serve the military, it automatic instant props to you. I have such a high aptitude for people in the military.
For real.
But regardless, yeah, you guys do an amazing thing, and thank you. But I found out she was in the military, which instantly brownie points with me. I was like, okay, is there anything this woman can't do? And we got to talking and everything, and I told her about my life story, and what it seemed like to me at first was very much like a caring, oh my god, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. and is there anything I can do? And I'm like, well, I'm brand new here. I don't really know people. I was just wondering if you would like to hang out more. She's like, yeah, of course. So we started hanging out more, and our second time hanging out, she kissed me. And, the well, it's not Hallelujah. It's the Ode to Joy, the really upbeat,
Yes.
Just that whole entire firework,
just imagine,
like, oh my God,
bright light, like fireworks exploding behind you.
Well, the funny thing was, it was a day before New Year's Eve.
Ooh.
So there was fireworks already blowing up. Yeah. So, and then the third night, things are getting hot and heavy. She was flirting with me. I was flirting back, and I was on a 2-year dry spell at this point, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get laid. I'm gonna have fun, So, I was safe about it and everything. And
here, wait. Do you want these holes filled in? These holes.
Yeah, go ahead and fill them in.
Right.
They're just...
Sorry.
They're just cobblestone.
Just wanted to make sure.
I'm trying to dig to the end of the tunnel, and then I'm trying to dig out of the mountain, make a whole window scene.
Alright. Sorry for interrupting, I just wanted to check.
No, you're good. So anyways, so the deed gets done, whatever, and, I was like, damn, I really like you, and I want to keep doing these things with you. And, I was like, I really do like you. She's like, well, I like you too, but I'm going to basic for the next 6 months, so I don't think we should ever see each other again. And it hurt. It definitely hurt. And I was like, oh, well, I understand, you gotta go, whatever. But, if there is a chance that we ever do get to talk to each other again, just know that I'll be thinking about you. I really do care about you. And she took it well. She left, and, for 6 months I was kind of in a slump. I was like, oh, well, that sucks. Oh, well, I gotta move on with my life. Whatever happens, happens. And that kind of became my motto for this whole entire debate. So, 6 months pass. I kind of pushed her away from my mind, and, I get a text, and she comes back into town. She's like, hey, I'm back in town. Do you want to meet up and talk about things and talk about how life's been going? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm game for that. So we do it. This was my first true red flag about her. She started drinking and driving.
Ooh, I did actually not know that info.
Yeah, she started drinking and driving, and she had a bottle of vodka with her, and she was taking it out, and she was like talking about it, and she's like, yeah, the military this, military that, and she's like, but enough about me, what about you? I'm like, well, I quit my old job, went to a shittier job, and just standard stuff like that.
Yeah, normal conversation.
And then, like, all of a sudden, she just turned around and, like, basically got on top of me and just started making out with me. And I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. So, things happen, and honestly, best sex of my life. And, I'm just like, I am ecstatic. I'm like, oh my god, yes, finally, I get to get my second shot with her. And so we keep doing it. We start hanging out for a couple of weeks. I start disregarding my other friends because at the time they know what she's about. They know exactly what she's doing. And I keep on telling them, oh, you're wrong, I'm different, I was being very hard-headed. Whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I get it.
With that being said, so we started doing this for about a month and a half or so, and finally she pops the question to me. She goes, hey, so I'm moving to this high-class town in Montana, and I need a roommate. Are you more than willing to do it? And, this is the first time I kind of stood back and went, whoa, okay, well, let me think.
A little fast,
but, it wasn't really my heart. It wasn't really my head doing the thinking. It was my heart. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. Keep in mind, I didn't have a car. I didn't have an ID. I didn't have any form of paperwork on me. I didn't have anything. Besides, like, the clothes that I gathered ever since I moved here, and the few possessions that I had. I'm like, you know what? I want to move in with you because I care about you so much that I don't want to see you go through this. And I know that I have my problems, but I want to work those out with you because I just feel so strongly about you. Well, we start doing apartment hunting. I start, working on myself, trying to get everything done. And granted, this part is a little bit my fault. I'm dragging her down, man. She's ahead of her game. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's making every right turn. Meanwhile, I'm fucking up everything. Like, I can't get anything right. But this is like the first time I've truly been, pushed to this extreme without any guidance or help. So, as I'm trying my best to stay afloat of headwater, she's, carrying me around plus, everything. And I felt like a complete bum. I felt like I couldn't do anything at all to help. And, we took another trip to, and we were going to spend the night and go to a Motel 6, whatnot. And, she brought some alcohol for the way, and she's like, hey, before we leave, I just wanted to know if you would like to basically start working in with me. I'm like, well, I already have a job, and so I can't just drop everything and, go work here, but I would be more than happy to stay where I'm at. Did I give the city name away?
Probably a little.
I probably did. But anyways, I'm like, well, anyways, I can't drop everything and leave my town to go stay with you, but I can stay in my town, get my stuff done, and then move in with you. That's okay. And then she got really nasty with me. She was about to go to work, and the stress had got to her. And she's like, you know what? You're fucking useless. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, what's going on? She's like, you can't do anything right. You're doing this and doing this. And I'm like, yeah, I understand, but I am trying my hardest here. I don't have anything right. And I'm trying to figure out solutions to figure this out. She's like, well, I thought you were ready. I'm like, no, I wasn't ready. And I'm sorry that I wasn't upfront and honest with you with this, but I wanted to work this out with you. This is completely my fault. And I will admit that 100 out of 100 times. I was completely in the wrong here. I was never upfront and honest about what I was going through, and therefore, she had to carry around some excess baggage. So finally, she gets mad and storms off to work, and I'm like, you know what, fine, whatever. I'm gonna use the rest of my money. I'm gonna sit here, wait for everything to cool off and whatnot, and we'll be just okay. Well, anyways, she comes back from work and she starts hammering beers. She brings me a salad, and I wasn't hungry because I was still a little upset about the fight,
That makes sense.
And then finally she blows up again. She's like, you know what? You should just go run back to mommy because that's all you're ever fucking gonna be good for. And I told her, dude, we just went over this. I told you I wasn't ready, and I told you I was sorry. But at the same time, I want to work this out with you because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're a team. We're dating. By the way, we're dating. And she's like, you know what? You're fucking useless. I should have never listened to you. Basically calling me pathetic for about 10 minutes straight. Drinking and hammering beers. And it got to the point where I was just like, you know what? Fuck you. You're drunk. I'm just gonna put in my headphones and I'm gonna listen to music. I'm just gonna drown you out. I'm going to have someone pick me up in the morning. I'm not going to deal with you. So, about 30 minutes of this, she's basically sitting on her phone trying to get my attention by laughing at videos and trying to show me shit. And I'm trying to block her out because I'm just like, I'm not going to get back into this. And then finally, she does something that I was not expecting. She clambers out of bed. She lays right on top of me while I'm laying down on my phone just listening to music. And she whispers in my ear, I'm sorry for what I said, but I'm right. You're useless. You're not going to do anything right. And I don't need you here. And I fucking broke down. I just started fucking crying. And at that time, I figured she was right. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I had no paperwork, no nothing. I was in a place that I barely knew. And I was bringing down the person that I cared the most about with me. And I couldn't deal with that. So, what I ended up doing was I tried to get a ride from anyone but my mom, because my mom was going to give me the whole "I told you so" talk, and couldn't find anybody. Had to call my mom. And well, beforehand, this is kind of a fucked up thing. I asked her if she would be able to give me a ride because I had nowhere else to go and I was just going to leave it at that. And she's like, "No, you're going to find your own way out because I'm not going to fucking help you anymore." Which is kind of harsh to say to someone that you just broke up with, took out of town to a place that's about 2 hours away from where your hometown is, and refused to give them a ride, which I can see both points, but I still think it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I agree. I could see both sides, but at the same time, it's like... that one's a little more touchy, because it's one of those things where you did just have a fight, and so it's like, both of you are kind of just like, I don't want to talk to you, and a 2-hour car ride probably would be not the greatest.
Yeah.
But I kind of agree. It's like a half agree, half not. Yeah, no, that's just a hard situation.
No, I just want to let you know that I'm 100% with you on that one.
Yeah.
Like, I understand where she's coming from, but also understand that I had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, no, like, I'm getting both sides, and straight up, like, abandoning someone, just being like, no, figure it out. That's not right. And, yeah, no. It sounds like it was a bad situation just all around.
Yeah. So, I sucked it up. I called my mom and I told her, "Hey, I need a ride home." And I got the whole "I told you so." I got the whole entire everything, and I was still wanting to be friends with her, so I left her on my messaging stuff, my Snapchat, whatever. And 3 days later, after the fight, I was working, and I got a text from her saying, "Are you fucking serious?" And, I answered, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "You literally left because you couldn't handle what I was saying to you? Are you fucking serious?" I'm like, "You told me to leave. You told me to do this. You told me to get away from you. So I did. I told you I wasn't ready to move out to this place with you. And I already admitted that I was sorry. What more do you fucking want from me?" And she's like, "I wanted you to try." I'm like, what was there to try? I already explained to you exactly how everything was going, and so we continue arguing back and forth, and finally I just got to the point saying, "You know what? I'm just gonna leave you on red. I'm at work right now, I'm doing my own thing. If you want to talk to me in person about this, go ahead, but other than that, leave my name out of it." And, she said some other nasty things, but at the end of the day, like, we kind of just left it be, and, we didn't talk to each other for about 3 or 4 months. Or actually, the same amount of time. It was actually 6 months, my bad. We would talk like here and there, like, hey, do you know anybody here? No. Okay. Basically like that.
Yeah.
And then just recently, this is back when I was on my escapade. You remember that?
I do.
Yes. This is going to be
that quite a bit.
This is going to be fresh in your mind. So, I get a text from her saying, "Hey, I'm living, or I live in this place now." Bleep that out. I don't want to out her. I may disagree with her, and I may, but I don't want to out her.
Oh no, I get that. No, don't worry. If you mention places, I got you.
Okay, perfect. Well, anyways, I told her, hey, well, she told me that she was living at this place and point of time, and she's like, hey, so I wanted to talk to you and say I'm sorry for how things went. And I'm like, well, first of all, it was my fault. Like, you have nothing to be sorry about. Second of all, whatever you're sorry for, I've already forgiven you. I wanted you out of my life. Well, I didn't put it like that. I put it more like, we needed the time to recollect our thoughts and whatever. The polite way of saying, I wanted you out of my life.
I needed space. Like,
I needed time to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, well, since you have a car now, do you want to head over to... We can talk this through like adults. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Of course. And then, we continued the conversation, kind of caught up on life and what we were doing. And then she started, like, being flirtatious with me and got me in this whole entire thing. The way I describe it is having fish hooks in your back. Then, she's just caressing your shoulder, kind of luring you in, then she'll stick a fish hook into your back, and then finally she'll pull you in. That is the best way to describe how she manipulates people.